Hi folks, so in this video we are going to talk about some more limits involving infinity. So grab your pen and let's go. So to evaluate left and right hand limits algebraically, we plug in a number close to our x value. If our answer is positive, we write positive infinity. If our answer is negative, we write negative infinity. By close, we mean that there cannot be a root between our number and the x value. So let's take a look at this one. If we were to substitute in 3, we can see that it's a vertical asymptote at x equals 3. So we can't put in exactly 3, but we can put in a number very, very close to 3. So if we did 2.9, let's say, or 2.99, right? Just depending on how close you want to get. Then that would give me a positive number on top, but a negative number on the bottom. And we know that positive over negative is just a negative. So just by sign analysis, we know that this limit is actually going to be negative infinity. Now, could you say does not exist? Yes, you could. However, most times we want you to be more specific with a one-sided limit. All right. So for the next one, limit as x approaches 3 from the right. Well, if we substitute in 3, I'd get 5 over 0, which gives me a vertical asymptote. So what we'll do instead is we'll put in 3.1 or maybe 3.001 or something like that, right? And that gives me a positive number on top and on bottom, which gives me a positive number. So that's going to give me a limit at positive infinity. So what we're going to do now is take a look at the graph. Yes, a look at the graph should confirm what we think about this whole thing. So I'll get my fraction bar there, and it'll be 5 over x minus 3. So what I was trying to say is that this should confirm what our thoughts are at x equals 3, or as x approaches 3. And you can see that as x approaches 3 from the left, the function is going down to negative infinity, and from the right, positive infinity. And there is indeed that vertical asymptote at x equals 3. So let's continue our spiritual journey through the next two examples. So this next part, we're approaching 3 from the left, but if we did that, we would still get a vertical asymptote. So what we'll do is we'll substitute in, let's say 2.9, but if I did 2.9 minus 7, and then 2.9 minus 3, then that'll give me a negative number divided by a negative number, which results in a positive number. So just by sign analysis, we know that that limit as x approaches 3 from the left is a positive infinity. And the same goes here. We'll go to the right. We're going to approach 3 from the right, so we'll substitute in like a 3.1 and just look at the signs. Negative divided by a positive, giving us a negative. So our limit would then be negative infinity. So taking a look at the graph, what we'll do, you don't always have the ability to look at the graph. So when we're doing notes, I think it's nice to just kind of confirm our thinking with the graph. So as you see, we approached 3 from the left and it went to infinity, and if we were to approach 3 from the right, it would be negative infinity. So that kind of confirms our thoughts about this example. The last example we'll do on this video is substitute in is this limit here. So we'll substitute in 2.9. So 2 times 2.9 minus 7 over 2.9 minus 3. Well, that's 58. So 5.8 minus 7. And then 2.9 minus 3 will be a negative number. So 5.8 minus 7 is a negative. So we're getting a negative divided by a negative. So I know that this limit from the left-hand side, approaching 3 from the left-hand side, will be infinity. Same thing, but this time we're going from the right, so we'll substitute in 3.1. 2 times 3.1 minus 7, and 3.1 minus 3. It'll be 6.2 minus 7. 6.2 minus 7 is going to be a negative number. 3.1 minus 3, though, is a positive number. So we have a negative divided by a positive. So we'll end up with negative infinity. So again, we're just going to confirm that using our TI-84. Go to our y equals sign and type in a 2 in front of that x. Hit graph, and from the left side it should be going up towards infinity, and there it goes. And from the right side it should be going down towards negative infinity. Alright, so that is a few examples on limits involving infinity where you have some vertical asymptotes to look at. Alright, take care guys, hope that helps.